And Barak Yahweh Brakatha, Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh Brakatha, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Lesson will be entitled, The Grinders Shall Cease. My source, CNBC, article entitled DirecTV Lays Off Hundreds of Managers as Cord Cutting Accelerates, published on January the 11th, 2023. DirecTV is laying off hundreds of employees, roughly 10% of its upper ranks, as the company looks to reduce costs amid the heightened pain of cord cutting for pay TV providers. According to people familiar with the matter, most of the job cuts will be at the manager level, the people said, citing an email to employees sent on Friday. Managers make up about half of DirecTV's fewer than 10,000 employees. One of the people said the effective employees' last day will be January 20th. The entire pay TV industry is impacted by the secular decline and the increasing rates to secure and distribute programming, a DirecTV spokesperson said in a statement. We are adjusting our operations costs to align with these changes and will continue to invest in new entertainment products and service enhancements. And at the end of the day, DirecTV must come down on their prices. Okay. DirecTV became a private company in 2021 when AT&T entered into a deal with private equity firm TPG to spin off DirecTV and its related businesses, with an implied enterprise value of $16.5 billion at the time. AT&T acquired DirecTV in 2015 for $48.5 billion and the assumption of debt. DirecTV and its peers have long been under pressure as customers cut the cord and opt for streaming services. The rate of cord cutting accelerated in the third quarter, according to MoffettNathanson. DirecTV reportedly lost around 500,000 customers in its most recent quarter, according to ratings agency Fitch. Although DirecTV's losses slowed during the height of the fill in the blank, they recently accelerated to nearly 17%, according to MoffettNathanson. And the reason why they accelerated, because people are no longer sitting around the house due to relaxed restrictions. Competition has ramped up in rural areas as broadband and fixed wireless companies build out networks in areas where satellite TV providers were once some of the only TV providers. Meanwhile, fees to carry broadcast and cable channels continue to rise. Executives across the industry have cited rising fees as partly responsible for accelerating pay TV customer losses in recent years. Plus, media companies have been offering more of the content traditionally found on linear TV, such as weekly shows, live events, and sports on streaming services, further pulling value from the pay TV bundle. DirecTV's contract recently ended for the rights to the NFL's Sunday Ticket package of out-of-market Sunday games. It held the rights since the inception of Sunday Ticket in 1994 and had been losing about $500 million annually on the package, CNBC previously reported. The impending layoffs include only a small portion of employees connected with Sunday Ticket, the people said. Okay? So, DirecTV must modify their packaging. It must be more appealing, and it has to go down on prices. If not, streaming is going to wipe out this company, point blank, period. And then as streaming continues to wipe out all these companies, guess what? Streaming will then raise its prices because the goal is to eliminate the competition. And once the competition has been eliminated, you mark up your prices. Okay? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the keepers of the house can be classified as the economists, and the strong men, meaning rich men shall bow themselves. Why? Because they will be humble, okay, as well. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Looking out of the windows be darkened, meaning what? You are depressed. You are anxious because you seek for employment, and these bills don't stop. Verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the street when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. Case in point, you have a lot of DirecTV managers, okay, that is affected by this layoff, and their last day is January the 20th. So now what they must do is seek for employment, okay, setting their alarm clocks early in the morning to get a great head start, okay? And they're doing this to find work, to provide for their families, okay, as well as paying off their debt. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that's why it's extremely important for us to do what? Let's jump up to verse 1, Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, while the evil days come not. Evil days meaning bad times. Nor the years draw near when you shall say, I have no pleasure in them. Right, because as we age throughout our lifespan, what happens? You no longer feel like partying. You are getting too old to do anything. And most Christians at this point run to the church in the fear of death, okay? They don't want to die. They don't know if they're going to so-called hell. So they run to the church. Now, once you understand the personality of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua, you know he requires majority of his men, okay, to sacrifice their youthfulness. Okay, that's the sacrifice for the big payback, which is the kingdom of heaven. And the reason why I say majority of his men, because, you know, a lot of bros came into this truth very young and still coming in extremely young. However, we do have exceptions. We have aged men that come in as well, okay, as well as middle age, so on and so forth. Verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. All right, so be strong. Prophecies are popping. Lord will, you are edified. Shalom.